Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, we'll explore a beautiful and profound topic: why Allah commanded Muslim women to wear the hijab. Let's break it down into chapters to understand its wisdom and significance deeply. The divine command of Allah. The hijab is not merely a piece of cloth, but a profound expression of a Muslim woman's submission to the commands of Allah. It is deeply rooted in the divine wisdom revealed in the Quran, emphasizing its importance as an act of worship and obedience. Allah says in Surah An-Nur 24:31, "And tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their private parts and not expose their adornment, except that which necessarily appears thereof." This verse addresses the foundational principles of modesty, instructing women to protect their honor and privacy while maintaining dignity in their interactions and appearance. Similarly, Surah Al-Ahzab 33:59 provides specific guidance. "O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to bring down over themselves part of their outer garments. That is more suitable that they will be known and not be abused." These words highlight the protective role of the hijab, safeguarding women from societal harm and ensuring they are recognized for their faith and character rather than their physical beauty. It underscores that the hijab is not a cultural norm confined to specific regions or communities. It is a universal directive from the Creator, meant for all Muslim women. The Quranic verses make it clear that the hijab is an essential component of a Muslim woman's identity, a way to visibly affirm her devotion to Allah. It transcends fashion or personal preference, becoming a spiritual practice that aligns her outward appearance with her inner commitment to faith. By adhering to the hijab, a woman demonstrates her readiness to prioritize Allah's commands over societal pressures or trends. It serves as a constant reminder of her purpose in life, to worship Allah and live according to His guidance. This divine instruction reflects the immense care and consideration Allah has for the dignity and well-being of women. Through the hijab, women are encouraged to reclaim their autonomy by defining how they present themselves to the world. It protects them from being reduced to objects of desire, enabling them to be seen and respected for their intellect, values, and contributions. Far from being restrictive, the hijab is liberating, freeing women from the unrealistic beauty standards and superficial judgments that dominate modern society. Moreover, the hijab fosters a sense of peace and confidence within a woman, allowing her to navigate the world with self-assurance. It removes the pressure to conform to ever-changing ideals of attractiveness, giving her the freedom to focus on what truly matters: her relationship with Allah and her moral and spiritual growth. It's a shield against societal exploitation, a symbol of her strength in choosing to follow divine guidance despite the challenges it may bring. The hijab also connects women to a broader community of believers who share the same values and aspirations. It signifies a bond of unity and solidarity within the ummah, reminding them that they are part of something greater than themselves. This connection fosters mutual support and understanding, creating a sense of belonging that transcends cultural and geographic boundaries. Every time a woman dons the hijab, she reaffirms her place in this global family and renews her commitment to uphold its principles. The hijab is a testament to a woman's love and devotion to Allah, a reflection of her willingness to embrace His commands wholeheartedly. It is not just a personal choice, but an act of faith that carries immense spiritual reward. By wearing it, she honors the guidance of the Quran, bringing herself closer to her Creator and strengthening her identity as a Muslim. Each step taken in observing the hijab becomes an opportunity to grow in faith and righteousness, drawing nearer to Allah's pleasure. Islam places immense emphasis on modesty for both men and women, considering it a foundational principle that safeguards individual dignity and fosters a harmonious society. The hijab, in this context, serves as a vital aspect of this emphasis, offering Muslim women a unique way to express their faith and maintain their honor. It is not merely a physical garment, but a representation of values that transcend societal norms. reminding believers of the spiritual and moral dimensions of their lives. One of the primary roles of the hijab is to guard modesty. It acts as a barrier, shielding women from the pervasive scrutiny and judgments often based on outward appearances. By covering their adornments, women can redirect attention from physical attributes to their character, intellect, and abilities, fostering a deeper and more meaningful form of interaction. This safeguard ensures that women are seen and respected for who they are rather than how they look, creating an environment of mutual respect and decency. The hijab also serves as a protective measure against harm. In a world where beauty standards are frequently exploited, women who wear the hijab shield themselves from being objectified or reduced to commodities. It creates a sense of security, as the hijab acts as a visible declaration of boundaries, demanding respect and discouraging inappropriate behavior. This protective aspect highlights Islam's commitment to preserving the dignity and well-being of its followers. In addition to its protective role, the hijab uplifts the status of women by shifting societal focus away from superficial attributes. In societies where physical beauty is often commodified, the hijab stands as a rejection of such materialism, asserting that a woman's worth lies in her inner qualities. It allows women to prioritize their intellect, kindness, and strength of character, empowering them to define their identity beyond societal expectations or pressures. Contrary to the misconceptions of some, the hijab is far from being an instrument of oppression. Instead, it is a powerful form of empowerment through submission to Allah's will. By choosing to wear the hijab, a woman asserts her autonomy and declares her commitment to her faith, placing her devotion to Allah above societal trends or criticisms. This act of worship is a profound reminder of the liberating power of obedience to the Creator. The hijab fosters a sense of self-worth and confidence in the women who wear it. It helps them understand that their value is not determined by the fleeting standards of fashion or the opinions of others. Instead, their worth is rooted in their piety, character, and the purpose for which they were created. This self-assurance enables women to navigate the world with strength and pride, knowing that their choices are guided by divine wisdom. Moreover, the hijab serves as a reminder of one's identity as a Muslim. It is a visible declaration of faith and a symbol of belonging to a community united by shared beliefs and principles. This sense of identity strengthens a woman's connection to her faith and fosters solidarity with her fellow believers, reinforcing the bonds of the global ummah. The hijab becomes not just a personal choice, but a collective expression of shared values. Through the hijab, women also contribute to fostering an environment of mutual respect and decency in society. It encourages modesty in behavior, speech, and interactions, reminding all individuals, men and women alike, of their responsibility to uphold these principles. In this way, the hijab is part of a broader framework of Islamic teachings that promote balance, respect, and harmony in social relations. The act of wearing the hijab is also a daily exercise in spiritual discipline. It reminds women of their purpose and aligns their actions with their beliefs. Every time a woman wears her hijab, she reaffirms her commitment to Allah and strengthens her relationship with Him. This consistent act of devotion nurtures a sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment that comes from living in accordance with divine guidance. The hijab's significance lies in its ability to transform both the wearer and the society around her. It elevates women by emphasizing their inner qualities and fosters a culture of respect and dignity. The hijab is not just a garment. It is a profound expression of faith, modesty, and the unwavering belief that true empowerment lies in submission to the will of Allah. Wearing the hijab is much more than just a personal choice. It is a profound expression of faith and devotion to Allah. When a Muslim woman chooses to wear the hijab, she is declaring her submission to the will of her Creator. It is a reminder to herself and others that her ultimate allegiance is to Allah, not to societal norms or fleeting trends. This decision reflects a deep sense of trust in the wisdom of Allah's commandments and an unwavering commitment to fulfilling her religious duties. The hijab serves as a badge of identity that proclaims, "I am a servant of Allah." It symbolizes a woman's connection to her Creator, showing that her actions are guided by divine principles rather than worldly influences. This identity is not confined to external appearance, but extends to a woman's character, values, and way of life. By wearing the hijab, she asserts her independence from societal pressures that often objectify and commodify women, choosing instead to honor her dignity and self-worth as defined by Islam. In a world where external beauty is frequently emphasized, the hijab allows a woman to transcend superficial judgments. It shifts the focus from her physical appearance to her intellect, personality, and inner virtues. This shift is empowering, as it enables her to navigate life with confidence, knowing that she is valued for who she is rather than how she looks. The hijab challenges the status quo, pushing back against societal standards that often measure a woman's worth by her outward appearance. The hijab also fosters a sense of belonging to a global Muslim community, or ummah. Regardless of where she is in the world, a hijab-wearing woman often feels an immediate connection with other Muslim women who share this visible sign of faith. This bond transcends race, culture, and language, creating a shared identity that unites Muslim women in their devotion to Allah. It reminds them that they are part of something greater than themselves, a universal faith that spans continents and centuries. At the same time, the hijab is a source of strength in the face of challenges. In environments where wearing the hijab may invite scrutiny or discrimination, a woman's decision to wear it becomes an act of courage and resilience. It shows that her faith is more important than seeking the approval of others. This strength is rooted in the knowledge that she is fulfilling a divine obligation, which gives her peace and confidence even in the face of adversity. The hijab also encourages self-awareness and mindfulness. By wearing it, a woman constantly remembers her role as a representative of her faith. This awareness often motivates her to uphold Islamic values in her behavior, speech, and interactions. The hijab is not just an article of clothing. It becomes a reminder of her responsibilities as a Muslim, inspiring her to strive for excellence in all aspects of her life. Moreover, the hijab is a statement of liberation rather than restriction. It frees a woman from being judged based on unrealistic beauty standards or societal expectations. It allows her to define herself on her own terms, prioritizing her relationship with Allah over the ever-changing demands of the world. This choice empowers her to live authentically and unapologetically as a Muslim woman, demonstrating that true freedom lies in submission to Allah's guidance. The hijab is a visible act of da'wah, silently inviting others to learn more about Islam. It sparks curiosity and conversations, giving Muslim women opportunities to share the beauty and wisdom of their faith. In this way, the hijab becomes more than a personal act of worship. It also serves as a means of spreading the message of Islam and inspiring others to reflect on their relationship with Allah. Through the hijab, a woman represents not only herself, but also the values and teachings of Islam. Observing the hijab can indeed be challenging in today's world, especially with societal pressures and widespread misconceptions about modesty. A woman who chooses to wear the hijab often finds herself standing out in a world that values conformity to modern standards of beauty and fashion. Yet, this choice is a profound declaration of faith, a testament to her dedication to Allah and her willingness to place His commands above societal expectations. It is a courageous act that reflects her inner strength and commitment to living a life that pleases her Creator. When a woman dons the hijab, she does so out of love and reverence for Allah. It becomes an act of worship, an outward expression of her submission to the one who knows what is best for His creation. The decision to observe hijab for the sake of Allah, even in the face of challenges, is a reflection of a heart deeply connected to its Lord. It is a reminder that the purpose of life is to worship Allah and to seek His pleasure above all else, no matter how difficult the circumstances may be. Challenges often come in the form of judgment or criticism from others, especially in environments where modest dress is misunderstood or viewed negatively. Despite these obstacles, a woman who persists in observing hijab demonstrates incredible resilience and trust in Allah's promise. She recognizes that every sacrifice made for the sake of Allah is an investment in her akhirah, hereafter. And she finds solace in knowing that Allah sees her efforts and will reward her beyond measure. The Prophet Muhammad beautifully reassures us when he says, "Whoever gives up something for the sake of Allah, he will replace it with something better." This hadith serves as a source of comfort and motivation for those who face difficulties in practicing their faith. A woman who chooses to adhere to the hijab often experiences this promise in her life. She might find inner peace, an increase in self-respect, or even the strengthening of her faith as Allah replaces her challenges with blessings in ways she never imagined. In the process, wearing the hijab teaches valuable lessons about patience and perseverance. It helps a woman grow spiritually, as every challenge she faces for the sake of her hijab becomes a means of drawing closer to Allah. With every step she takes in her journey, she learns to rely on Allah alone and seeks His approval, finding immense strength in the realization that her efforts are not in vain. This spiritual growth becomes a source of tranquility and contentment, outweighing any difficulties she may encounter. Moreover, the hijab serves as a constant reminder of her purpose in life. It inspires a woman to reflect on her relationship with Allah and to strive for excellence in all aspects of her worship. It becomes a source of empowerment, enabling her to rise above worldly distractions and focus on what truly matters. The hijab not only shields her physically, but also reinforces her identity as a proud Muslima who is unapologetically devoted to her faith. Every struggle faced while observing hijab is a form of purification and elevation in the eyes of Allah. Each moment of patience, each act of resilience, and each instance of enduring criticism with grace adds to the rewards awaiting her. Through the hijab, a woman is reminded that this life is temporary and that her ultimate goal is to attain Allah's pleasure and a place in Jannah, paradise. Her sacrifices today pave the way for eternal joy, and she finds peace in knowing that Allah never lets the efforts of His servants go unrewarded. Hijab is not just a piece of cloth, it's an integral part of a broader concept of modesty in Islam that applies to both men and women. Allah commands believers to lower their gaze as a means of preserving purity and preventing temptation. This instruction serves as a reminder that modesty begins with controlling one's eyes and heart. By consciously avoiding inappropriate glances, believers create an environment where respect and dignity flourish. Dressing modestly is another key aspect of Islamic teachings on modesty. For women, the hijab is a visible expression of this principle, while for men, it involves wearing attire that is clean, decent, and covers the required parts of the body. Modesty in dress is not about restriction, but about fostering a sense of self-respect and consideration for others. This applies universally, regardless of cultural differences, emphasizing the importance of inner and outer decency. Respectful interaction is another cornerstone of modesty that complements the concept of hijab. Conversations and social exchanges should be conducted with dignity and kindness, avoiding flirtation or behaviors that could lead to discomfort or misunderstanding. This extends to both verbal communication and body language, reinforcing the idea that modesty is holistic, encompassing all aspects of human interaction. Behavior and attitude are also critical components of modesty. A modest individual carries themselves with humility, refraining from arrogance or boastfulness. This inner modesty reflects outwardly in how they treat others and present themselves in society. Whether through gentle speech, kind gestures, or considerate actions, modesty and attitude creates a ripple effect of positivity and respect. In essence, hijab is far more than a physical garment. It's a comprehensive lifestyle that embodies a Muslim's commitment to Allah's guidance. It shapes how a person interacts with the world, ensuring that their behavior, speech, and appearance align with the principles of respect, dignity, and faith. This holistic approach fosters a harmonious community built on trust and understanding, where modesty becomes a shared value that benefits all. Sisters in Islam, wearing the hijab is a journey of faith, and every step taken for Allah's sake is rewarded. It's a shield, a statement, and an act of worship. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening. If you found this beneficial, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Islamic insights. May Allah guide us all to His path. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.